Oh, better throw out my gum. Hey everybody, it's Thursday, and that can only mean one thing. Actually, it can mean several things. Tomorrow's Friday and yesterday's Wednesday are two things that it means. But it also means it's time for your weekly update with me, Jeff. And what I thought I'd do today is do a very quick recap for all of you about our Daniel series that we have been going through here this new year. It starts in chapter 1, where Daniel is taken captive into Babylon, which eventually all of God's people got taken into Babylon as exiles. And Daniel rises up in the court of King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and God uses him to do a lot of things, like interpret the king's dream in chapter 2 about a big statue, about the four different kingdoms that are coming, including, I guess, Nebuchadnezzar being the one that already exists, and what God is going to do to maneuver kingdoms and establish his own permanent kingdom. And that was kind of chapter 2. And then chapter 3, Daniel's buddies, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, get thrown into the fiery furnace because they refuse to bow down to the statue that they know isn't a god. And they're like, no, we can't call that a god because we know it isn't. And we talked about the world we live in now, and are there things that we need to kind of say, no, that's just not what it is. You can tell me that's what it is, but I know better, and I'm not going to agree. And then in chapter 4, Daniel has a process with Nebuchadnezzar where he has another dream and ends up going off into the wilderness, and Nebuchadnezzar has this kind of come to God moment and a breakdown and a breakthrough, and Daniel 4 ends with Nebuchadnezzar repenting and praising God. And then in Daniel chapter 5, we have Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar's not quite grandson, but down the lineage, is now in charge, and he's throwing a big party. And Daniel interprets the writing on the wall that Belshazzar sees, and basically says the Babylonian Empire is coming to an end right now, and the Persians are coming, and this is the way it's going to go. And it's a major event in world history and in the history of God's people. And Belshazzar loses, and the Persians come in, and then in chapter 6, Daniel is now under new management. Darius the Mede is in charge, while Cyrus is making his way to really rule the Persian Empire. And Darius is kind of trapped by people who want to do Daniel harm, and ends up throwing Daniel into the lion's pit. But Daniel survives, and Darius is impressed with the God of Daniel. And then we move now into chapter 7, which is coming this Sunday. And we're moving into the second half of the book of Daniel. And why did I recap all that stuff? Well, to show you how great these stories are, but the theme has been consistent through all the first 6 chapters that we've covered, which is this: God moves kingdoms the way he wants to achieve his ends. And along the way, he will put his people in key places within those kingdoms to establish what he wants for those kingdoms and for his people. It's kind of a divine espionage. But all of this is very reflective of where we are in our world today as the people of God and as followers of God, and how do we manage living in exile, which we still do, and what is our posture towards the people of the world we live in, and how can we support them and pray for their welfare and seek their welfare, but also stand for God. And anyway, that's why we're going through the book of Daniel. But all that recap is to say we're moving into the second half of the book, and you know what's happening in the second half of the book of Daniel? It's going to be heavy, deep-end prophecy. And I'm kind of excited to do that. A lot of times when you go through a series in Daniel, people quit after chapter 6 because 7 to 12 is deep-end, heavy prophecy. But I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait for this Sunday, and I want you to come be a part of it. And I'm going to tell you on Sunday the 3 cardinal rules for interpreting prophecy. And I can't wait, and I hope you're ready for them. Other things going on in the life of our church. This very night, tonight, March 2nd, that's tonight, Thursday night, March 2nd. So if you watch this on Friday or Saturday, you've already missed it. We're going to hold our first choir gathering. If you want to be a part of the choir here at Grace Church, coming out tonight for the opening kickoff rehearsal time. If you can't make it tonight, or if you see this on Saturday instead of today and you missed it, there will be more coming. So check your Friday email for more of those details. But we are going to start having choir in our Sunday services starting on Easter Sunday. One more thing to keep in mind, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. That's again, not this Sunday, but next Sunday is time travel week. Spring forward. Move your clocks forward. We're all going to travel through time 1 hour into the future like that. It's going to be fun in the middle of the night. But make sure you set your calendars to set your clocks so that you don't miss it. Okay, until next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff. You're you. God is God, and he knows exactly what he's doing with all the kingdoms of the world, even today.